Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Real Estate Insider. Right now, there's no case grabbing more attention than the one involving Sean Diddy Combs. Today, we're diving into the shocking new testimony from Cassie Ventura, the ex-girlfriend of Diddy, who just took the stand in his federal trial for trafficking, racketeering, and kidnapping. If convicted, Diddy could be facing some serious time behind bars, but what kind of prison might he end up in? That's the question. That's what we want to explore today. Where might he end up, and what might his day-to-day look like on the inside? Plus, could Diddy possibly avoid prison time altogether with a presidential pardon? Let's break it all down. Cassie's explosive testimony dropped some bombshell revelations in court, detailing years upon years of alleged abuse, coercion, and manipulation. She described being forced into what she called sick freak-offs. They might as well go and put freak-offs in the dictionary. It's the most overused word this year. She also described drug-fueled sex parties and a controlling relationship that left her psychologically scarred. Now, this testimony is crucial as it paints a picture of systematic abuse that could lead to severe penalties if Diddy is found guilty. Now, this kind of explosive testimony, combined with potential corroborating witnesses, could paint a devastating picture for the jury, making a conviction more likely. She went into grave detail. I'll spare you all the details, but there's one particular thing she talked about is Diddy wanting her to rub the escort semen on his nipples. I'm sorry I had to tell you that, but I felt like I had to. Let's continue. This is a real estate channel. Let's get to the real estate portion in just a moment. First, let's talk about the possibility of a Trump pardon. There's been some chatter online about whether Diddy could potentially receive a presidential pardon from Donald Trump. As we know, Trump has granted pardons to other celebrities and high-profile individuals in the past, including Lil Wayne and Kodak Black. Now, these pardons often come as a surprise, sometimes aligning with Trump's public statements about giving second chances to people he feels have been unfairly treated by the system. And since our president, Donald Trump, has some experience in this area, I think we all remember the whole grab them by the pussies thing. We heard him say it. We heard him say it on tape that the women want him to grab them by the pussies. Excuse my French or Spanish. So he's had his own with E. Jean Carroll. There was a verdict in May 2023 that found Trump liable for sexually abusing and defaming Carroll and ordering him to pay $5 million in damages. He made an unsuccessful counterclaim and in December 2024 lost the initial appeal. Carroll's accusation against Trump was more severe than the accusations made by other women. Remember Stormy Daniels as well? I think he paid off Stormy Daniels, allegedly. Or did he? Let's get back to Diddy. See what I did there? As I stated, there has been chatter about a potential pardon. Diddy, being vocal, a very vocal critic of Trump in the past, might face a steeper climb if he seeks this route, but it's not totally out of the question. Now, what would prison look like, though, for Diddy? Now, if the legal system doesn't take a pardon route and Diddy is convicted, we're looking at a very different lifestyle for the bad boy mogul. Gone are the days of luxury yachts and private jets and red carpets. Instead, Diddy could be in a place where he has to take that. Those hip hop heads out there, you'll get that one. Gone are the days of those yachts. Instead, Diddy could be facing a world of concrete walls and razor wire and iron bars. Let's break down where he might end up. and what daily life behind bars might look like for one of hip-hop's biggest icons. So federal prisons, if convicted of severe charges, let's say, one of them is USP Canaan in Pennsylvania. Now, this high security prison is known for housing some of the most dangerous federal inmates, making it a likely choice for someone convicted of serious charges like sex trafficking and racketeering. It's where notorious inmates like Eric Frayne, who killed a state trooper, are currently serving time. Inmates here endure strict daily routines with multiple head counts, limited recreational time, and frequent lockdowns. Meals are typically simple. Think processed meats. Anybody remember potted meat? Canned vegetables and powdered eggs, far from the gourmet spreads that Diddy is used to. Lockdowns are common, meaning inmates can spend 23 hours a day in their cell with limited communication to the outside world. On top of that, inmates here often face extreme isolation and limited contact with the outside world, with phone calls monitored and visitation tightly controlled. It's not outside of my thought process that a lot of times celebrities get better treatment than the rest. We don't know what kind of treatment R. Kelly's getting. We do know there was an attempted attack on him at some point in whatever prison he's in or jail he's in. So perhaps they do get a little bit better treatment. I think Bill Cosby did a lot of complaining about his treatment and where he was, so perhaps not. But the next one is USP Allenwood in Pennsylvania, another high security facility known for its strict regimen and long-term high-risk inmates. This prison is often chosen for individuals with violent histories or significant security risks. It also housed infamous figures like Bernie Madoff. Before his transfer, daily life here includes intense supervision, limited recreational options, and a strict schedule. Inmates often work prison jobs like food prep and cleaning, earning just pennies an hour. It sounds like they get treated like people that work for Diddy get treated when they have to walk across a bridge and go get a cheesecake from Junior's over in Brooklyn and then bring it back to Manhattan. Anyway, meals are similarly basic with a heavy focus on cheap processed foods. For someone like Diddy, this would be a massive adjustment, going from a multi-million-dollar business empire to earning less than $1 a day. If he chooses to work at all, he won't have to work. His whatever they put the money on will be at capacity. He's a billionaire, for God's sakes. Medium to low security options. Well, he was a billionaire. If convicted of a lesser charge, FCI Otisville in New York. Okay. Often referred to as Club Fed because it houses white-collar criminals and high-profile inmates like Michael Cohen, President Trump's former lawyer, served time here, as did Mike the Situation Sorrentino from Jersey Shore. And daily life here is a bit more relaxed. This is the celebrity treatment one, with access to rec facilities, work programs, and religious services. The food is also a step up with kosher options available and more variety than higher security prisons. The inmates have access to email and limited internet for supervised communication. Wow, I didn't know that. And they can participate in educational programs to reduce their sentences. However, it's still prison with locked doors, strip searches, and very little privacy. And hearing the testimony from Cassie, the strip searches may not be too bad. He might enjoy those. He just might. Next is FCI Miami, Florida. It's interesting. These are the Miami, he has a house in Miami, Star Island, a couple of them, and he's had places in New York. These are places he loves. Now, this is a medium security institution that might be an option given Diddy's strong ties to the Miami area. This facility has held a range of criminals, including some connected to organized crime. It's known for its heat and intense conditions, far from the comfort of Diddy's South Beach mansions. Now, daily life here includes mandatory work assignments, routine counts, and limited visitation rights. Inmates can access vocational training and educational programs, but the environment is still far from glamorous. Now, those are all federal prisons we're talking about. We've talked about a few federal prisons. Let's talk state possibilities. if the charges are reduced. Because we know there is a domestic situation. I don't think that his team is even backing down from. And matter of fact, we see the tape. We see the tape at the Intercontinental Hotel where he kicked Cassie on the ground. So there's no getting away from that unless it's outside of the statute of limitations. Now, if the charges get knocked down even further, possibly to assault or coercion, Diddy might end up in a state prison. And in that case, there is no pardon. The president can only pardon federal. He can't pardon state. He could be looking at facilities like Rikers Island, New York, one of the most infamous jails in the world, known for its violent, chaotic environment. Celebrities like Tupac, Lil Wayne have both done time there, facing harsh conditions and a notoriously dangerous inmate population. Daily life here is rough, with overcrowded cells, frequent violence, and poor food quality. The environment can be brutal, with inmates facing daily threats from rival gangs and corrupt guards. Another one in New York is Sing Sing, one of the oldest and most infamous prisons in the country, known for its harsh conditions and history of high-profile inmates. It's also housed figures like David Berkowitz, the son of Sam Killer. Inmates here face strict daily schedules, intense supervision, and minimal contact with the outside world. It's stark, unforgiving environment where respect is earned, not given. That's the environment you see when you're at Sing Sing. All right, so that's a wrap on today's breakdown. If you enjoyed the deep dive into Diddy's potential prison future and latest on the Cassie trial, make sure you smash the like button, hit subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss a single update on the wild case. Let me know which prison should he end up in. Do you think so far from what you heard, do you think he's guilty or innocent? What are your thoughts? Let me know. Talk back at me. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Lam, Mr. Real Estate Insider. Until next time, peace out.